What Oklahoma City is doing right now feels like watching a script unfold that the rest of the league wasn't prepared for. There is a surreal quality to the way they dominate night after night, as if the Thunder have quietly stepped into a new era without asking permission from anyone. Their pace, their rhythm, their precision, and their defensive suffocation all blend together into a kind of basketball that looks both effortless and overwhelming at the same time. When a team reaches a 20-1 record, the conversation stops being about talent alone and starts becoming about identity. And what's most striking about this Thunder group is that their identity feels so complete, so coherent, so impossible to disrupt, that even the strongest opponents walk into matchups looking hesitant, unsure whether they are facing a great team having a hot stretch or something closer to a historic outlier. The craziest part is that Oklahoma City has not even played with its full arsenal yet. One of the most terrifying teams in NBA history is still incomplete, still missing a key piece, still learning how to function with its reinforcements back in the lineup. Their dominance doesn't feel like a fluke because it isn't built on lucky shooting nights or unsustainable runs. It comes from the fact that every single possession on both ends of the court has purpose. When they attack, they manipulate defenses. When they defend, they erase options. The entire roster buys into the vision, and that kind of unity is rare in a league where egos and roles often collide. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has become the quiet force powering this unstoppable machine, a superstar who doesn't need theatrics or flashiness to bend the game to his will. Watching him this season feels like watching a master carefully carving his masterpiece, each possession precise, each read calculated, each finish deliberate. His pace is unlike anyone else's. Nothing about his movements looks hurried, panicked, or forced. Instead, he glides, measuring defenders with the calm of someone who sees the floor 2 moves ahead. He isn't just scoring more efficiently. He's orchestrating an offense with the kind of patience and clarity that breaks defensive structures apart. The evolution in his playmaking has been the great revelation of the season. This is not the reactive passer who punished double teams only when he had no other choice. This is a version of SGA who manipulates coverages, who sets traps of his own, who draws defenders into positions where the pass becomes inevitable. When a star player reaches that level of anticipation, the entire offense expands. Teammates cut harder because they know the ball might find them. Shooters wait with confidence because the pass will arrive clean. Bigs roll with purpose because the lob threat is real every time. And the numbers confirm the transformation. SGA isn't just accumulating assists. He's controlling turnover margins, dictating tempo, and eliminating wasted possessions. And yet, all of this would be impressive enough if he were simply passing better. But on top of the playmaking, Shai's shooting rise has turned him into something even more dangerous. There is a coldness to his jumper now, a steadiness that forces defenders into impossible decisions. Go under the screen and he punishes you. Press up on him and he glides past you. Collapse onto his drives and he sprays the ball out to an army of shooters. Stay glued to the perimeter and he floats into the mid-range where he looks untouchable. When a player becomes matchup-proof, the team surrounding him rises to a new level automatically. That's what has happened in Oklahoma City. Shai has removed the element of chance from their offense. He decides the terms of engagement every night. But this Thunder story isn't just about a superstar ascending into a new tier. It's about the suffocating defensive machine Oklahoma City has formed around him. This defense is not built on one elite rim protector or one lockdown perimeter specialist. It is built on every player understanding exactly how to guard their assignment and how to help everyone else. The rotations feel synchronized, as if the entire team is moving to a defensive rhythm only they can hear. What opponents quickly realize is that beating one defender does nothing. The second you turn the corner, another Thunder body is already in front of you. The second you try to reset, they swarm. And when you finally get a window to attempt a shot, it's contested, uncomfortable, rushed, or outright erased. No team in the modern NBA has produced defensive metrics like this without having multiple Hall of Fame caliber stoppers anchoring the paint. And yet here the Thunder are, setting a defensive pace that rivals the greatest units in basketball history. Their relative defensive rating doesn't just place them among the best of their era, it positions them at the top of the modern era entirely. To maintain that level of discipline and intensity over 21 games with such a young roster is astonishing. To do it while missing one of their best players borders on unprecedented. That's where the return of Jalen Williams becomes crucial. His presence adds another layer, another dimension, another stabilizing force that elevates the Thunder from dominant to terrifying. He is the connective tissue, the player who fills every gap effortlessly, who can serve as a primary ball handler or an off-ball attacker, who guards every position and embraces every challenge. His first games back were rusty in shooting mechanics but flawless in impact. He controlled pace. He defended with energy. He passed with confidence. And the moment he regained rhythm, he reminded everyone why he is essential to Oklahoma City's championship core. The returning version of Jalen Williams, even at 70% strength, already tilted games in Oklahoma City's favor. When he reaches full capacity again, the Thunder won't just be hard to beat, they'll be structurally impenetrable. His blend of size, intelligence, and versatility makes him one of the most matchup-proof players in the sport. When you add him back into a roster that is already leading the league in almost every efficiency category, you begin to understand why this start doesn't feel like smoke and mirrors. It feels like inevitability. And behind SGA and Jalen Williams sits Chet Holmgren, the young big who continues to evolve in real time. His defensive influence is unmistakable. He changes angles, eliminates passing lanes, and removes shot attempts from the floor entirely. His offensive growth only amplifies the Thunder's ceiling, adding a dimension that most teams cannot counter without committing extra defenders and sacrificing spacing. Once you include the contributions of Isaiah Hartenstein, A.J. Mitchell's poise, Caruso's impact metrics, and the relentless energy of Casey Wallace and Dort, you begin to see the full picture. This is not a hot streak.